bass boats, Tahoe sports boats, Tracker aluminum boats, and Sun Tracker pontoon boats with the best warranty in the industry. Island Cove, your local service center for Triton and Tracker boats, is second to none. Visit Island Cove Outdoor Center and Island Cove Marina and Resort, Highway 58, your local authorized Triton and Tracker boats dealer.
Let's talk houses for a minute this morning, because if you are considering buying, you probably are questioning if now is really a good time to make that big purchase. Bruce Dodd with Chatt Mortgage says the answer is absolutely yes, with capital letters, and he joins us this morning. Good to see you.
Hey, it's always good to see you, my friend.
Always good to see you too. So we actually bought a house once during the holiday season, twice actually we've done that. We kind of liked it. We thought it was a good time to be a buyer.
Well, the real estate market for the last couple of years has been super competitive. Lots of people trying to buy, more people trying to buy than there are people trying to sell. So sometimes during the holidays or the very first part of the year, there are less people in the housing market. So sometimes that can be a really great opportunity for somebody who needs to buy a house.
We've also found it, I mean, I can't speak for other people's experiences, but sometimes people are happy to sell the house, but then you can kind of wait a little bit before you actually move, because people want to get through the holiday season, so you can kind of breathe a little after the closing of the property.
Yeah, we see a lot of that. So typically for a mortgage, you have to be in the house within a couple months. You have to be occupying it within a couple months, but a lot of times you do delayed occupancy, let the seller stay there for a month after you close. That's absolutely acceptable, and that's something a lot of people do.
So, you know, you were talking about the housing inventory. We continue to have this shortage, and I think it's projected for years to come for a while. Am I right?
Yeah, the reality is, back in the housing crisis in 2008 to 10, there stopped being a lot of development. Well, development takes years and years. And so that period of time then during the pandemic wasn't as much building going on, that sort of thing. So there's been some things that have impacted new construction. Right now, they just can't build enough to keep up. And so there's not that many people listing their houses for sale. So yes, inventory is going to be tight for a while.
So I wanted to ask the question because people will think, and I understand why you do too, about monitoring those interest rates and housing prices and all that. But if there's not going to be a quick change in that inventory, there's not going to be a quick change in the cost of buying either.
Well, the last time we saw interest rates come down significantly was in 2019 to 2020. In 2020, when interest rates came down about 1%, we saw about a 14% increase in price in Chattanooga. So if one waits till interest rates go down, house prices are moving up now. Well, there'll be a whole lot more people that will be back in the market when rates come down again. So even if there's more inventory, there's going to be more demand. Mm-hmm. And so I think house prices are going to be moving up for a while. So I think if one waits, you're just going to pay a lot more.
Right, because it's still pretty much an average of what, 4% a year in increase in value?
It's actually, Chattanooga is moving up a little bit more than that. Across the United States, we're projected more like 6% for this year. The latest numbers came out from Case-Shiller, and that said through September, it looked like about 6% for the United States. Wow. Chattanooga will probably be about there as well.
Okay, so you were sharing something with me. I'm in Christmas gift buying mode, and often if I buy online, it'll say sign up with your email and then you'll get X percentage off, and I typically will do it. I'm a sucker. But you were saying that when you apply for a credit, like for a house purchase, your information gets sold off, and now you might get inundated with solicitations.
Yeah, big tech makes more money selling your information than the services that they provide. And so what happens when somebody applies for a mortgage, often that information will get sold and they'll get 75 phone calls. That information will be bought by mortgage companies all over the country. And they have teams of people just sitting there making phone calls. There is a way you can prevent some of that. And it's a good thing to do, period. And that's it's a government website. It's called optoutprescreen.com. optoutprescreen.com. And what that does is it opts you out of pre-screened credit offers. So you stop getting a bunch of mail that says you've been approved for this credit card. It's important for a couple of reasons. One is identity theft. People steal stuff out of mailboxes, and then they know how long that stuff waits, and they'll sign up and get a credit card in your name. It's a great thing. It's an important tool to avoid identity theft. If you have kids who are college age, I guarantee you they're getting pre-screened credit offers just because they're in college. I got an American Express card when I was in college. I had no business with it. But if you have college age kids, you need to have them go to optoutprescreen.com so they don't get credit. If they want credit, they just need to apply for it.
Okay.
So you don't want people sending you credit cards in the mail.
I have a college age kid, so I took the note. Thank you very much. Optoutprescreen.com.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody should do it.
Let me give folks your website, which is chatmortgage.com. Their phone number 591-9801. They've been in business. They're right here locally, owned and operated in the form of Bruce Dodd and his wonderful team over on East Brainerd Road. Give them a call and let them help you land that perfect home. Thank you, my friend.
It's always a pleasure.
Visit Colony 13 and the Bass